So Katy Perry went to space. And let's just say, the internet had thoughts. While some people saw it as a historic moment, others weren't exactly buying the Space Queen narrative. From being called out of touch to being roasted for her word salad inspirational speech after landing, the comments section did not hold back. Let's take a trip, not to space, but through the brutal honesty of the internet. Half the country is counting out quarters for gas and groceries, and these people think the average citizen is going to be pumped that a bunch of rich people wasted a bunch of money to take a dip into space? It's just so outrageously tone deaf. Plus, Bezos is a supervillain. Billionaires are so out of touch, they think Katy Perry is still cool. Passengers, not astronauts. So inspiring. A rich girl from Santa Barbara, who had her career purchased for her, and her songs written for her going to space, while actual female astronauts are losing their jobs. Eat the rich. I just want to tell Katy Perry to shut up. It's like watching the Capitol people of the Hunger Games. I hate that they keep calling it all-female crew. They crewed nothing. They're just a bunch of passengers who could have used that money for literally anything else. As a woman, I feel like this whole stunt was a massive disservice to women everywhere. Now we definitely won't be taken seriously. And to call them astronauts is a slap into the face to the real astronauts who train their entire life to go into space, and don't just play around and take pictures. This is their livelihood, and for them to call themselves astronauts is beyond disrespectful. When your album bombs, so you have to do a publicity stunt. The fact that this video is longer than the amount of time they were in space. I would be glued to the window, not posing for the camera. I'm convinced this is just an ad for space tourism for the mega-rich and elites. This situation feels so odd, but I'm grateful for the memes. I personally will sleep so much better tonight, just knowing that Katy Perry is super connected to love now. In the past, this would have been huge and very celebrated. But now, people are tired of putting celebrity culture on a pedestal. The worst part is them acting like this was heroic. Katy Perry didn't have to kiss the ground. They're drowning in their own pretentiousness. The level of disingenuity in this whole ordeal is insane. These people are super disconnected. I think that humanity as a whole is fed up with this mess. She sounds loaded and like she's trying to explain why drugs aren't bad. They are all about love. Next time I fly on a plane, I'm going to walk in, high-five the attendants and say, "What's up, fellow crew?" So dumb. To call them astronauts is absurd. Oh, SNL is definitely about to spoof the F out of this week. Can't stand Katy Perry. I don't get why they didn't just say, "It was awesome that we're fortunate enough to be able to visit space. People having money isn't a bad thing. Good for them. But don't come back and act insufferable or call yourself an astronaut. You paid to visit space and that's awesome. Just let that be what it is. It's a glorified carnival ride." Katy Perry felt super connected to love. With herself. My question of many is why the spaceship looks so phallic. This entire situation feels like a giant trolling FU to the average person. Was the whole trip? They were only in space for a minute or two. I didn't realize Katy had become this cringe. Something about this is honestly cringy. I had secondhand embarrassment listening to Katy. Thank God they had a man to rescue the Blue Powder Puffs, the new singing group. I'm dying about the shape of the rocket. I literally gasped when I saw it. It was all over the news and I was just like, why should I effing care about a bunch of rich ladies going to space? They basically paid to be the first all-female team in space. That's it. That's all it is. The word is that it was all faked. Katy Perry sounds constantly high. The shape of the rocket is giving Austin Powers. A real Marie Antoinette moment. When the revolution comes, it won't end well for these people. They didn't go to space, they went into orbit. Babe thought she ate. Homie needs to touch grass, not go to space. Fun fact. Earth is in space, so we all already are in space. Wanna bet that Katy Perry will be using that clip of herself looking at the camera during the opening number of her upcoming tour? Katy Perry always has and always will be a pick-me girl. South Park need to do an episode on this. They successfully tested Botox in space. There was more hair extensions and weaves floating around in that capsule than brain cells. This isn't about empowering women. This was about stroking egos and making wealthy people feel important. Because deep down they know they're not terribly important. Katy Perry sounds like she attended the same word salad class as Meghan Markle. Oprah crying was the epitome of cringe. Can we all have some sympathy for the ground control audio guy who had to endure those screeches? Medals earned. At least, we found out breast implants don't explode in zero gravity. They weren't crew, they weren't astronauts. They weren't anything but passengers taking a carnival ride. I want to puke. They set the women's movement back 50 years. Hard to believe the capsule could withstand that amount of pretentiousness. Rumor has it the flower was the only real thing in that capsule. As a woman who is an actual scientist, how is this supposed to inspire me exactly? What accolades did they earn? What put them there other than their money or proximity to it? They take vacuousness to new heights. Anyone who drove their car to work has accomplished more than that. They were basically annoying cargo that wasn't secured down. These ones complained to us about climate change. Gayle explained that Blue Origin wants to take the waste from Earth and put it in space to clean up the planet. They just forgot to empty the payload. Did Perry once ever look out of the window? Bravo Daniel. Bezos should done humanity a favor and left them up there. Capsule had a pretty hard landing. The glue they use for their eyelashes is impressive. If these are the heroes we're supposed to be looking up to, humanity is doomed. They are so convinced of their superiority, they fail to realize how stupid they appear. Like being shot miles high and a rocket imbues you with the right stuff. To your fans, friends, and families, you may be an astronaut. But to an astronaut, you're no astronaut. We lost 2 shuttles full of scientists and astronauts, but somehow this box of clams gets back without a scratch. It's inspiring for young girls to see women go to space without having to bother with all those years of tedious studying and training. Alan Shepard was pushing buttons, pulling levers, flipping switches. These women were asking each other, "Does this suit make me look fat?" The crew of the bouncy house in space. Perry is a legend in the space between her ears. Katy Perry was the same woman who asked Neil deGrasse Tyson if math was related to science. She's an astronaut now. Houston, we have a problem. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of me, and there it is. What do you call an original thought in Katy Perry's head? A space invader. There's more danger in my garage than their idea of space. Going to the moon for them was basically like going on a field trip back when you were in elementary school. Literal space trash. I just tuned in. What's going on? Did these women cure cancer? So impressive. Tampax introduces zero-gravity tampons. When your flow don't know where to go. Tampax. All those rich people went to space, almost. And now they're telling us they know why we should all love each other. Come by, my friend. Katy Perry is an astronaut, and I am a brain surgeon. When I look at Katy Perry's eyes, I think about empty space. Armstrong and Buzz would be horrified. Just so very sad. So this was a simulation of shooting trash into space? Mission accomplished. How do their satellites fail to die of cringe? Women giggling and acting silly while riding in a rich man's vehicle. Yeah, we've never seen that before. That's their allowed carbon footprint for the next 15 lives right there. Where's a xenomorph when you need one? You must admit, it's a top group to be sent into a vacuum. And the question it raises, what's more empty, the space or the space in Katy's head? Katy kissed Mother Earth. And she liked it. If at that moment an alien accidentally passed by, they'd probably be very disappointed only finding one-cell organisms. Katy sunk her career. In my opinion, people are so disgusted about this ridiculous and narcissistic display, they won't bother. This is a South Park episode. Congratulations to all the Amazon delivery guys that struggle to put food on their table in order to get these incredible women to space. Meanwhile, Amazon workers are driving around in no AC vans pissing in water bottles. The engineers had to calculate the weight of all the makeup and Botox for the rockets. Congratulations on making the entire world cringe and feel physically sick in unison. Glorious achievement. Congratulations, Blue Origin. You somehow made spaceflight cringe. My dad watched people land on the moon 60 years ago. Today, I get to watch some B-list celebrities go to the edge of space for 1 minute, cheered on by the Kardashians. A joyride for the rich and famous. The best is the comment from Katy after talking about how we need to protect the Earth. You just burned 70,000 pounds of fuel for that view. I watched part of the launch while eating my lunch. Does that make me an astronaut now too? Congrats to all the engineers who made this possible. We live in a world with desperate poverty, growing inequality and rank injustice, while there are people with enough money to fly to space with their friends for fun. What's wrong with us? The intense training consisted of keeping quiet, staying in their seats, and not touching anything. Even though they failed their training, they were cleared for their 10-minute remote-controlled trip anyway. Girl power. So very much screaming, and I hope this goes viral comments. Please stop calling people who do this astronauts. I just placed a band-aid on someone's boo-boo. Now I'm a doctor. Did they get Amazon gift cards? Is this a promo for Austin Powers' 3 Bimbos in Space? They picked the 6 people that looked like aliens. These women are not astronauts and do not deserve that title. This was a disgusting and dishonorable day for science. All because of rich people with narcissistic desires. So out of touch with this planet, they decided to blast off into space. Thank every underpaid Amazon employee for today's broadcast. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date with all my new videos. I always appreciate your time, and I hope to see you next time.